งรับชมผ่าน Facebook Live ในเพจนะคะขอต้อนรับทุกท่านเข้าสู่งาน President's Distinguished Speakers ครั้งที่ 6 ค่ะ
Today's gathering brings together leaders, innovators, and thinkers from over 30 countries to exchange perspectives on innovation ecosystems, intellectual property management, and the transformation of research into economic and societal impacts. Throughout the program, you may scan the QR code provided in your event booklet to submit your questions for both speakers during the two distinguished speaker sessions.
โดยงานในวันนี้นะคะเป็นอีกหนึ่งครั้งและเป็นเวทีสำคัญค่ะในการแลกเปลี่ยนมุมมองด้านนวัตกรรมการถ่ายทอดเทคโนโลยีและทรัพย์สินทางปัญญาจากผู้นำความคิดกว่า 30 ประเทศทั่วโลกค่ะและตลอดทั้ง 2 ช่วงของการบรรยายทุกท่านสามารถสแกน QR code ที่ขึ้นอยู่ในสูจิบัตรเพื่อส่งคำถามถึงวิทยากรของเราได้เลยนะคะโดยที่ท่านอธิการบดีจุฬาลงกรณ์มหาวิทยาลัยศาสตราจารย์ดร.วิเลิศ ภูริวัฒน์ได้ขับเคลื่อนจุฬาลงกรณ์มหาวิทยาลัยด้วยวิสัยทัศน์ด้านนวัตกรรมความเชื่อมโยงในระดับนานาชาติและความเป็นเลิศทางวิชาการและงานในครั้งนี้ค่ะถือเป็นครั้งที่ 6 แล้วค่ะของ President's Distinguished Speakers ค่ะ
To begin this evening together, it is our great honor of having the President of Chulalongkorn University, Professor Dr. Willath Puriwat, who has led the university with a commitment to innovation, global engagement, and advancing academic excellence, a vision reflected in today's Distinguished Speakers series.
May I invite the President to deliver the opening remarks. Please welcome.
Very good evening. Mrs. Catherine Koo, Mr. Marco Aleman, Mrs. Oromon Saptavitam, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my truly honor and great pleasure to be here standing right in front of you. So today is not just about the event that we try to hold and bring everyone together. As far as I know, we have many people from everywhere around the world. So today the name is about reshaping, about the future of innovation. So it's not just about innovation we talk about. So it is us that we learn from each other, that we would like to get to know from each other. And today we have the world-class renowned two speakers. They'll be here right in front of us. And then we hope that we can share experience, we learn from insight, and then that is what matters the most. And today, the number 6 President Distinguished Speaker Series Executive Dialogue with Catherine Koo and Marco Aleman. Tonight we are joined by highly respected leaders from government, academia, industry, international organization, and the global innovation community. Your presence makes this event truly exceptional, and I am deeply grateful that you are here this evening. This gathering represents more than a ceremonial talk. It is a meeting of minds and a family of visionary and leaders who play a vital role in shaping the future of innovation, technology transfer, and knowledge-based development in Thailand and around the world. At Chulalongkorn University, it's not just about education that we would like to aim for. It is about how to reshape and then plan for future education. So this is not just about event. These are interconnected network across research, industry, policy, and global cooperation from foundation of Thailand Emerging Innovation Frontier. And it is precisely this spirit of collaboration that brings us together this evening. We are truly honored to welcome both of our distinguished speakers to Thailand and to Chulalongkorn University. I am confident that the idea exchange today will help us chart a forward-looking path, one that is ambitious, collaborative, and globally connected. And after the dialogue, I warmly invite all of you to join our networking cocktail dinner and a chance to continue this conversation, forge new partnerships, and strengthen the bond that will carry our innovation ecosystem in the future. Once again, thank you for honoring us with your presence. I hope that tonight discussion inspire new ideas, new collaboration, and new opportunities, both for Thailand and for our shared global community. May this evening be the beginning of deeper dialogue, enduring partnership, and transformative progress. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Lila Puriwat, for a wonderful opening remarks. Could you please kindly remain on stage for a group photo? We want to keep this memory alive, and this is the beginning of something really, really great. So, we would like to also invite the first group of distinguished guests to join us for a group photo.
ในช่วงนี้นะคะทุกท่านจะได้ร่วมเป็นอีกหนึ่งสักขีพยานรวมไปจนถึงส่วนสำคัญค่ะของงานในวันนี้ที่เราจะเก็บภาพแห่งความประทับใจของอีกหนึ่งครั้งที่จุฬาลงกรณ์มหาวิทยาลัยของเราค่ะได้ต้อนรับผู้นำระดับโลกและเช่นเดียวกันค่ะทุกท่านเองก็เป็นผู้นำที่กำลังจะนำนวัตกรรมนะคะไปใช้ในการสร้างสรรค์อนาคตของประเทศไทยต่อไปค่ะ
And for this part, we are going to see, we have 2 group photo sessions coming right up. And hopefully this is truly the beginning of something great. We are looking forward into a very fruitful evening. And this is part of the memory we're collecting. And it's truly just the beginning.
Definitely และนอกเหนือจากนั้นแล้วนะคะในงานวันนี้ค่ะอย่างที่ท่านอธิการได้พูดไปเมื่อสักครู่นี้นะคะเราจะได้พบกับการปาฐกถาพิเศษค่ะของผู้นำทั้งสองท่านที่วันนี้จะมาพบกับทุกท่านในงานนี้รวมถึงพบกับท่านผู้ชมที่กำลังรับชมผ่านทางไลฟ์ด้วยค่ะ
ใช่แล้วค่ะและอย่างที่แจ้งไว้ก่อนหน้านี้นะคะถ้าหากรับชมอยู่แล้วมีคำถามข้อสงสัยอย่างไรได้ฟังมุมมองต่างๆแล้วรู้สึกว่าอยากจะร่วมแลกเปลี่ยนพูดคุยกับสปีกเกอร์ของเรานะคะสามารถฝากคำถามเอาไว้ได้เลยตลอดช่วงของการปาฐกถาผ่านทาง QR code ที่แจกไว้นะคะที่แนบไว้ที่บุ๊กเล็ตของเรานั่นเองค่ะ
ขอบพระคุณนะคะทุกท่านเลยถือว่าขอเรียนเชิญแขกผู้มีเกียรติอีกหนึ่งชุดค่ะขึ้นมาถ่ายภาพร่วมกันค่ะ
Thank you very much. May I invite the second group of our distinguished guests to join us for a group photo. This is exciting, isn't it? To see a lot of global leaders and innovators and to think about what this event, this wonderful evening could lead to in the future.
แน่นอนค่ะเพราะว่าในวันนี้นะคะเราได้เห็นนวัตกรรวมถึงผู้พัฒนานวัตกรรมและรวมไปจนถึงผู้นำทั้งในประเทศไทยและในระดับนานาประเทศซึ่งเชื่อว่าวันนี้ทุกท่านจะได้มาแลกเปลี่ยนความรู้ความเข้าใจรวมถึงอย่างที่แจ้งไปว่าในช่วงท้ายเราจะมีช่วงของการ networking ให้ทุกท่านนะคะได้ร่วมสัมพันธ์กันต่อค่ะ
Alright, could we kindly ask everybody to move a little bit closer? Because we are right now approaching the edge of the stage. Just a little bit closer. If you're on your right, just turn your body towards the center. On your left towards the center as well. Okay, so that's right facing towards the center. Lovely, that's wonderful. Alright, we still have more to join in our session, and we are going to take the cue from our photographers to make sure this memory is wonderfully captured.
เดี๋ยวรบกวนนะคะท่านผู้มีเกียรติแถวด้านหลังนะคะขยับขึ้นมาสักนิดหนึ่งค่ะเป็นอีกหนึ่งภาพที่สวยงามนะคะขอเชิญทุกท่านนะคะถ่ายภาพในครั้งนี้ไว้เป็นอีกหนึ่งภาพความประทับใจของ President Talk ในปีนี้ค่ะ
เรียกว่าเข้าสู่ช่วงท้ายปีของปีนี้แล้วด้วยนะคะเป็นการส่งท้ายปีแล้วก็มองไปสู่อนาคตที่เรียกได้ว่าสว่างไสวแน่ๆเลย
อีกสักหนึ่งภาพนะคะ เรียบร้อยค่ะ Such a wonderful thing. Thank you very much all the leaders here and also thank you all these good guests to join us as a further grouping.
Thank you so much. And we are sure everyone is very excited. Like they are all excited for the sessions that are coming right up. So thank you so much for your presence here. And hopefully for your engagement in the following sessions as well.
So because we are so excited to see all the leaders, mostly from all the any international and also from Thailand to show here and also to meet together here today. ขอขอบพระคุณแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านอีกครั้งหนึ่งที่มาเก็บภาพความประทับใจในครั้งนี้ร่วมกันค่ะ ซึ่งเชื่อว่าทุกท่านในวันนี้นะคะน่าจะพร้อมนะคะกับช่วงถัดไปที่กำลังจะมาถึงค่ะ แล้วก็เป็นช่วงที่ทุกท่านต่างก็รอคอยอีกเช่นเดียวกันกับงานในวันนี้ค่ะ
To officially begin our distinguished speakers, we are pleased to welcome Mr. Marco Aleman, Assistant Director General of the World Intellectual Property Organization, or WIPO. His leadership has shaped global IP policy and strengthened innovation ecosystems worldwide.
ในลำดับถัดไปค่ะ ขอเชิญทุกท่านพบกับการปาฐกถาพิเศษ หรือ President's Distinguished Speakers โดย Mr. Marco Aleman Assistant Director General แห่งองค์การทรัพย์สินทางปัญญาโลกหรือ WIPO ผู้มีบทบาทสำคัญในการกำหนดทิศทางนโยบายทรัพย์สินทางปัญญาในระดับนานาชาติ และการเสริมสร้างระบบนวัตกรรมทั่วโลก Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have Mr. Marco Aleman with us tonight. Please welcome.
Excellencies, distinguished university presidents, senior colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and thank you for inviting me and the World Intellectual Property Organization and my colleagues that are part of the WTO delegation to this very important session on the President's Dialogue that you are fantastically holding tonight here in Bangkok. Let me begin by extending our sincere condolence to the royal family and to the people of Thailand on the passing of Her Majesty Queen Tiriki. I would like then to thank our host, Chulalongkorn University, and in particular, Mr. President, Dr. Wilbert Puriwat, for hosting us in this fantastic gathering with the very high level participation of the different other presidents of universities attending today, and also with the participation of different government authorities and different government representatives, as well as expert leaders on areas of great interest for the conversation of tonight, as is the case of technology transfer experts and specialists. Let me start telling you that Thailand, as you know, stands at a very promising point in its innovation journey. The question is, what role can universities play in shaping the country's next steps, and how we can work together to support that role? And in order to answer that question, there will be two introductory presentations and a dialogue that will continue where we can go into more detail. This is a question that speaks to Thailand, and in particular to Thailand's future economic strength, to its social well-being, and to its national identity as a country that values knowledge, creativity, and opportunities. This is a question that senior leaders present in this room can answer without any doubt, and those assisting there in having different policy considerations will help you to shape an appropriate answer to that question. In relation to the Thailand's very important innovation moment, as you can see in the slide, Thailand now stands in a very pivotal moment in its innovation journey. According to the Global Innovation Index report, Thailand is placed number 45 worldwide, what means it achieved to be part of the top 50 most innovative economies worldwide, and at the same time is 4 among upper middle income economies worldwide, showing a fantastic performance. Thailand is also an overperforming country relative to the GDP per capita, and this is probably what is more striking about the position of Thailand in this slide. It is not only about being innovative, it's about how innovative you are in relation with the development of the country, and in particular, how innovative you are in taking inputs of different effort and policies and the outputs you get in order to use all those inputs to produce benefit for the different actors of society. Well, here, as you can see, Thailand performed extremely well in terms of its level of development, and even more, it performed also extremely well in converting inputs into outputs. And indeed, if you see the position of Thailand in the GII in terms of inputs, the place is the 46th place, and the outputs is the 43rd place, given the 45 as a total. So it means it's extremely effective in converting inputs into outputs. But what is powering this? What is behind this very positive position of Thailand? Many indicators, in my view, are quite relevant. One, there is a firm-driven, trade-intensive model. Thailand business finance a very important share of the overall research and development taking place in this country. According to a very important number of reports worldwide, in Thailand, the contribution of the private sector in the financing of the research and development is quite high for the level of development of countries such as Thailand. University supply the talent and links needed for this relationship in between those that produce knowledge and those that use that knowledge for the benefit of society. And Chulalongkorn, Mahidol, and Chiang Mai top among different of the rankings worldwide. We can use the QS table, while Chulalongkorn, King Mongkut University of Technology, and Thonburi and Mahidol lead on university, industry, and international engagement, showing that indeed, to our initial question, what is the role of university? A lot has been already done in this country. As you can see here, there are very important areas in which Thailand is doing very well. Thailand, for example, sits 8 in high-tech export and 10 for high-tech import, signaling deep integration into global tech supply chain. And these two indicators are one of those that, without doubt, reflect huge potential in the area of high-tech in this country. The strengths behind the success are well known. Thailand has invested steadily in infrastructure, scientific output, and university network have grown while areas like the digital capacity is improving. And there is a strong public commitment to innovation as a national driver of growth. And we have been working with different authorities here in the country in order to support the effort the government are placing in terms of the promotion of innovation. Another strength often overlooked is Thailand's research density. According to recent international comparison, Thailand now has more researchers per million inhabitants than the average for upper middle income economies. And this is without doubt very remarkable, and some of those present here today have something to do with this important achievement. The challenge now is to make sure that this talent contributes directly to national development and particularly to the industry needs. It's not only about producing knowledge and having the appropriate talent and skills, but it's about having the talent and skills the country needs according to the plans and the government, private actor and university priorities according to a coordinated policy plan. When you place these pieces together, it becomes clear that Thailand has already built much of the foundation needed for long-term innovation performance. Let's mention some of those elements related to the foundational strengths of the system in Thailand. A large share of national research and development, as I mentioned before, is financed by the private sector. But according to different reports, the financing of innovation by the private sector is quite focused, quite concentrated in some very specific areas. That means that the rest of the system, including most small and medium-sized businesses, has limited internal capability to innovate. For a country with Thailand's ambitions, this concentration represents both a challenge and opportunity. Just before, we have a fantastic conversation with the Director General of the Intellectual Property Department about the potential of the country in getting into areas like intangible asset financing as a way to get resources to finance innovation in other actors, like many of the small and medium-sized companies that I just mentioned before are probably not benefit from this concentration of private investment that I mentioned before may be a challenge and also an opportunity. The top opportunity lies very particular with universities. Universities can help within the innovation base by working with firms that have potential but lack internal research and development, and in particular lack internal research and development resources. So for those companies to rely on the capacity of universities will be key, but for that to happen in an effective manner, a very practical and effective dialogue in between these two actors are very much in need. Thailand has a second advantage. The creative economy continues to grow and plays a visible role in the country's identity. Design, digital content, cultural industries, and traditional creative sector all contribute to Thailand's global presence worldwide. And if we take the indicators that we just published in WIPO recently about intellectual property filing worldwide, you will see how innovation in Thailand is not only about patents filing that indeed have been increasing over the years, but it's a lot about trademark filing. More than 50,000 trademarks are filed in this economy, showing a robust and very healthy market in which all those trademarks can operate. And more than 4,000 industrial design, showing that also designs plays a role in innovation, because at the end, a lot of the decisions are taken by the consumer, and the consumer not only care about technology, but also care about the design that incorporate those products. Well, then the point is, what is next? How we are going to do with all this progress, and how we are going to work together to be sure that the direction is the same. From WIPO perspective, there is a number of things that can be done at the national level, and we have been working with the country in that regard for a number of years. One of the advantages of the WIPO work with the country is the fact that it allows us to know in a very direct manner which are those opportunities that the country has. And one of those is linked to this very broad capacity and this very broad offer of the country in terms of export. As you can see in this graphic, Thailand export products that worth more than 345 billion in 2023 is quite diverse. And it's not only diverse, but is in many of the sector quite highly sophisticated areas of work that comes from chemicals, vehicles, machinery, electrics, and these broad, I would say, number of opportunities is without any doubt a strong characteristic of the Thailand situation. And let me tell you, not every country in the world have the chance to have a so broad, diversified basket of products to be exported. In many countries, the gap between intention and action appears when institutions are not fully connected. National strategies may be ambitious, but universities may not have the people, system, or incentive to deliver them. Industry may want collaboration, but universities may not be organized properly to respond to those requests. Or universities may produce research that sounds extremely appropriate from the academic point of view, but which does not match society or economy needs. What we need then is a more active conversation in between the different actors, the academia that produce the research that the economy needs, the companies, in particular entrepreneurs, that are those that are able to get that knowledge, that technology from the lab to the market to benefit society, and the government that is the one that put in place the policies that facilitate a very enabling environment for all this to happen. This is then something that describes the very key role of universities, but very particular, the very key role of those that lead the work of universities. Because there is something we always ask: what is the direction of innovation? Where is the innovation going? And we always think that the direction of innovation is given by somebody else other than me. But the reality is each one of you, the one that gives the direction of innovation. When university programs puts priority in certain fields, when university budget prioritize research in certain areas where the talent coming from the university has particular skills in certain fields, you are taking the most important decision on the direction of innovation. You are the ones telling where the innovation is going. And what we need is that this priority and this direction coming from the university match the needs of the industry and the government. This enabling environment where this can happen and produce results. So universities are at the very center of what can happen in terms of innovation in the different jurisdictions. Around the world, universities have become one of the most important actors in shaping national innovation performance. Not only because they are becoming more and more active in producing knowledge and technology, but very particular because they are more and more active in transferring that knowledge in order to be introduced through different shape and different views into the market. Universities in Thailand are playing the part, but the next stage will place even greater responsibility on university leadership. And some of you already feel that pressure. Some of you already feel that the challenges ahead are that big, that you need to get prepared for that. And dialogue of presidents like this are the fantastic opportunity to share, to learn, and to exchange. One reason is that innovation inside industry is concentrated, as I mentioned before. Universities can help spread it more widely, as I also mentioned in my previous comment. Another reason is that skills required for an innovation economy are changing. Advanced manufacturing, green technologies, digital service, and life science all require new combination of technical knowledge, problem solving, and adaptability. Universities must adapt the teaching and research to meet these needs. A third reason comes from an observation that World Bank made in a report in which there is established that university research and private sector needs are sometimes not well matched. This is not unique to Thailand. Many countries face the same issue, but it is an opportunity for universities to rethink how they engage with industry, how they design research agendas, and how they measure performance. If we take here the case of Thailand, you will see how well placed universities like Chulalongkorn University or Mahidol or Chiang Mai, among others, are placed in rankings like US World University rankings. But you can see even more how you improve in terms of the position of universities from 2022 to 2026. In just that short period of time, moving from 10 to 19, shown a very important progress in how those universities are placed in the rankings. Here, we don't have reference to Thailand. We have reference to other countries in ASEAN. And here, the main element is how universities are getting ready to contribute in areas like the skills needed for the particular challenge I mentioned before, or the academic readiness, or the future of work, or the economic transformation. And with those indicators, you will see how ASEAN universities are placed and how in certain countries those challenges are properly faced. One of the work that can come from this dialogue is to identify what is the situation in this regard in Thailand. At the ASEAN level, where we are, there are fantastic news at the ASEAN level. And there are very good news for the particular case of Thailand. Let us start with some consideration about ASEAN. ASEAN research and development spending rose an compound annual growth rate of 8.5%, reaching nearly 60 billion in real terms. And ASEAN's high-tech expo more than doubled between 2015 and 2022, growing at a rate of almost 10%, showing fantastic opportunities. Here you have where you are in terms of the region in a comparison in between total patent filings and expenditure in research and development. As I mentioned before, the gross expenditure on research and development in Thailand is above 1.2%, what is very important effort for a country of this level of development. The total number of patents contain very key information. One that in my view is fundamental is the very high participation of residents in the total number of filings, what shows that innovation is taking place here. In many jurisdictions, foreign applications account for more than 90% of the total patent file. Here you have almost 50% coming from residents and 50% coming from those abroad. In place Thailand, as you can see, at the level of countries, at the international level, close to countries like Brazil in Latin America, Thailand, Egypt, and very close to other very active countries in terms of innovation, like in the case of Europe, Italy, or Ireland, for example. What shows that indeed, in terms of research and development, great progress is taking place. Let me conclude my presentation with the following reflection. If you see here, when it comes to innovation, one of the key elements for consideration is how complex is the innovation ecosystem. Complexity is key because complexity not only shows that innovation is taking place, but on which field are taking place. Very high demanding complex fields or very medium or low level complex field. And depending on that, innovation may be taking place in areas where many other countries do the same. Then the level of competition is higher and the chances to succeed reduce. But when innovation is taking place in very complex area, it means only few countries have the capacity to compete in those areas. So the decision to choose where we are going to place the innovation is linked to the complexity of the innovation of the country. And here you can see where Thailand is placed in terms of complexity. What we do is to measure complexity. We identify three areas to identify where we are in terms of complexity. One is scientific capabilities. How complex is the innovation ecosystem based on the scientific capabilities of the country? And let me advance you. In the case of Thailand, taking into account the number of scientific publications that are published, more than 13,000 in 2024, it shows huge potential of capabilities in terms of science. If we take into account the production capabilities based on international trade and the installed industry capabilities to produce and the installed capability to export service, let me tell you, Thailand is extremely well placed. When it comes to technological capabilities, technology, and particularly the most demanding technological capabilities, there is a gap. And this is probably one of the key challenges of innovation in this country. Here, you have what we consider is the potential of the country in terms of innovation capabilities. If you take Thailand, you see that the total number of capabilities in the area of technology, that is the one in dark blue, is about 7%. But if you get Thailand, based on the scientific capabilities currently in place, you see that there is huge potential to develop technology based on those scientific capabilities. And if you take production capabilities, you see huge potential to translate that production capabilities into technologies capabilities. But even more, the really good news in the case of Thailand is that if we consider the overall capabilities of the innovation ecosystem of the country, we can identify that almost 50% of those capabilities are stable. And being stable means that that knowledge, either scientific, technological, or production capability, are linked to other capabilities. And because of that, there is chances for new links, for new development, and for more innovation. When those capabilities are disconnected, there is huge risk of those capabilities being lost, and then the knowledge or the technology being wasted, and at a certain point, even to disappear. We can analyze in more detail in our further conversation what exactly are those possibilities coming from science and from technology. But let me tell you, based on initial estimation, we can say that based on science, we can double the technological capability of the country. And based on production, we can multiply for 14 the technological capabilities of the country. So huge potential here. And I would like to close my very long presentation. Apologies for getting beyond the 20 minutes allocated to me. I would then close with the note that in transforming science into technology, production into technology, and doing more in creating technological capabilities, universities are at the very center, and the presidents are the one taking the decisions. Many thanks.